Thank you for joining us with VUTV Severe Storm Coverage. I'm Carly Bodinas, and with us is Zoe Barages. We will be informing you guys on the severe weather that is coming into our area, and we will be making sure that we can keep you updated and safe in your homes or stores or wherever you are, especially getting home from work on this Wednesday evening. We would like to first show you a radar and get you some information. We have just been notified by the National Weather Service that there is a tornado warning in Clay, Indiana, Park, Indiana, and Vigo, Indiana. And tornado warnings continue for Lake Village, Indiana, Hopkins Park, Illinois, Bearville, Illinois, until 6:15. So about 15 more minutes for those areas. And a tornado warning including Attica, Indiana, Williamsport, Indiana, and West Lebanon, Indiana, until 7:15 Eastern. So again, another 15 minutes for that of those in the Eastern time zone. And as well as the 6:15 tornado warnings in St. Anne, Illinois, and Lake Village, Indiana. We are keeping updated on these warnings as they are coming in and as they are concluding. So let's see. Fountain, Indiana, and Warren, Indiana have just gone into a tornado warning as well. We will switch it over to Zoe, and she will get you a quick update on what it's looking like out there and what's going to come in the future in the next couple of hours, okay?
All right, so we've got this line of storms that are like a lot of thunderstorms that are bringing a lot of wind and hail and also those brief spin-up tornadoes. There's this line of very strong storms heading straight towards Valpo, and it should be here in the next 15 minutes. I can actually time that out for us right here. So we're going to go to the radar, and we're going to go to our radar, and we're going to go here. So it should be here in Valpo by about 6:11, so you have about 10 or 15 minutes here. Then it's going to continue to go east, so then it should be in Westchester by about 6:12, Cool Spring by about 6:22, and Scipio by about 6:30, and those will continue moving off to the east as a cold front will continue on through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening, and then that will eventually switch over to snow. But that is not our main issue right now. Our main focus is about these storms, which are just now about to pass over Hobart, Indiana. So if you're in Hobart, make sure you're in a safe place. We are, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Carly, we are under a severe thunderstorm warning here on campus right now, yes?
Yes, we are, correct.
Okay, so campus is under a severe thunderstorm warning, so just make sure you're in a safe place. The main threats are likely just going to be some strong winds and some hail, but this should be out of here fairly quickly, so we shouldn't be under that for too much longer, and then everything should start to clear out, and then we are going to get cold really quickly. So I'm going to kick it back over to Carly for a second with some updates. Carly?
Yes, thank you, Zoe. So as we get in a few more warnings here, we are going into tornado. Look, it's like Indiana. There's a tornado watch in 15 counties in Indiana currently. This includes Attica, Bloomfield, Brazil, Carlisle, Clinton, Covington, Crawfordsville, Fairview Park, Farmersburg, Gosport, Greencastle, Jasonsville, Lafayette, Linton, Rockville, Rosedale, Shelburne, Shoals, and more. So our primary threats in our area and areas around this Valparaiso area is damaging winds and isolated significant gusts up to 75 miles per hour. This includes then it can take down large trees. We can see parts of houses flying off, or even, pets or people if you're outside. A big wind gust of 75 miles per hour is, just think about it as if you're driving down the interstate at 75 miles per hour. That's the type of winds that we're looking at. So they're very dangerous, and you want to just stay inside. Keep your animals inside, keep your kids inside. If you stay inside, you're more likely to stay safe from the wind if that is our primary threat. if we do, like Zoe was talking to, get any hail or in when the snow starts to come, we also need to be careful about driving, and any outside activities should be canceled. Let's see, a new severe thunderstorm warning has been extended to let's see, has been extended until 6:45 for Gibson, Indiana, Pike, Indiana, Vanderburgh, and Warwick. So we want to, anybody in those areas, again, make sure that we're inside. If you have anything outside that can be that can be taken away by the wind, make sure to either bring it inside, put it in your garage, or in between an area that is going to get the least amount of wind, to kind of make sure things aren't flying away. Because especially if something does fly away, it could hit something else, hit somebody, and it's not just a damage of it flying away, but it could also cause more impact for wherever it ends up going. We have no control of the weather, so we just need to be careful about what's going to happen. Another quick tip for any of those weather lovers who are out there ready to go storm chasing: every storm is dangerous in its own way, so we just need to be careful. Make sure you have that radar going and you know what to look for. And in the case that something bad does happen, make sure to get inside the closest building that you can, or a storm shelter. Storm shelters should have signs, and so you should know where those are, especially your nearest ones in your buildings or on your college campuses. On the college campus, most of them are in the basement of your buildings if we were to go into a tornado warning. So I'll give it back to Zoe and be right back with you.
Okay, so I have pulled up a more detailed version of what we are going to expect in the next 4 or so minutes here in Valpo. This line should be coming in, so it should be around here about 6:10. There's some stronger stuff a little bit north of city proper that should come through, so it should be in Babcock in the next couple minutes. So make sure you're in your safe space, and then that's going to continue on through, and it should be in places like Burdick by about 6:16, 6:19 over there in New Durham, and then by 6:25 it should be over there in Panola, and then it should all be out of here by about 7 o'clock, like I said. But we are under a severe weather outline here. We've got a slight risk here in Valpo, which is a 2 out of 5. An enhanced risk down there near Pontiac in Peru, which is a 3 out of 5. So we are not getting the worst of the weather, but we are still in the risk for some severe weather, as we are seeing this evening. And this should not last long, like I said. So we're going to take a quick peek at that future radar. So this should all really be out of here by early evening. So here's about 7:30. Most of that should be off to our east, more into eastern Indiana and central Indiana. And we'll start to clear it a little bit. But then, like I mentioned, there is this snow system that's going to pass through early tomorrow morning, accompanied by a cold front. So don't be surprised if you wake up tomorrow and there's a little bit of snow on your car, on the streets, on your yard. But it should not last long, as this all should be clearing on out by the early afternoon. So once that sun comes out, that should really all start to melt. Overall, we're going to look at a quick hour-by-hour forecast. We've got those storms, like I said, that are going to stick around for the next little bit. And then once we get past these storms, we're going to see those temperatures really, really start to decrease. And then over quickly to our 7-day before I pass you back over to Carly. We're going to see a temperature brief increase up into near 60 on Friday. But there's going to be quite a lot of wind. And then we're going to have more seasonable temperatures through the next 5 days. So I'm going to throw you back over to Carly really quick with an update on what some of the hazards are with the severe weather that we are currently experiencing here in Valpo. Carly?
Yeah, perfect. So there is severe thunderstorm watch that is effective until midnight Central Time. And just a quick reminder, these are for eastern Indiana, north central Kentucky, southern lower Michigan, western Ohio, and the areas of Lake Michigan. This is important just because the storm is not just impacting us here in northern Indiana. This is a big line of storms, so they're most likely going to reach into Kentucky and into Michigan. So we need to make sure that everybody is aware of what is coming. It is obviously slowly going to dissipate over time, but we want to make sure that we are all updated and everybody is going to be as safe as possible. So again, the winds are our biggest factor. The National Weather Service is updating their warnings and watches every minute. So for the areas of Clay, Indiana, Park, Indiana, and Vigo, Indiana, the tornado threat has diminished and the tornado warning has been canceled. However, large hail and damaging winds remain likely. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for the area. They are in a tornado watch until 10 p.m. Eastern. So, like with that, so the tornado warning has passed on now, but large hail and damaging winds remain likely, which is what we just talked about, is our biggest impact, especially for people who are traveling home or trying to get their kids from school. Any of that, your winds and hail are possible. I know earlier today the winds calmed down a little bit, but they have sped back up. So with that, if you are outside, watch for if trees are around at any chance, anytime. The weather is very hard to predict. So we could have tree branches falling, anything around you that is movable. So make sure to be careful, look at your surroundings. Also, watch the sky, look up. If you hear thunder or see lightning, please go inside. It is the safest place for anyone, any animal, any living thing to get inside. If you see thunder, or if you hear thunder or see lightning, go inside immediately. If you hear your tornado sirens go off, please go into your basement or a room that has no windows inside your home. We just want to keep everybody safe, and just have a plan. Be prepared. If you don't have a weather, if you don't have like a weather radio, just make sure your phones are charged, your computer is charged. Anything that you get information about weather through, make sure that's charged, you're ready. Always have flashlights, water bottles. You never know what's going to happen, so it's always best to be prepared. So we'll just double check, see if anything else has come up. Yep, it just looks like they have now yeah, hail damage to vehicles is expected. So if you have a garage, get those vehicles inside as fast as you can, or just make sure that they're close to your house. That is going to be helpful. Expect considerable tree damage, like I was speaking about. Wind damage is also likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. So those who live in mobile homes, it's okay. Oftentimes you guys there should be a storm shelter nearby if you do not feel safe in your mobile home. Otherwise, go into the most middle of your mobile home. And so, again, remain alert for possible tornadoes. They can develop quickly, even if the tornado warning has passed. Everyone is still in a tornado watch in the areas that I have said before. And this is all seen by radar. Okay. So severe thunderstorms were located along the line of Crawfordsville and moving northeast at 55 miles per hour, okay? So we want to make sure that anybody in that area is prepared for the hail, winds, and the possible severe thunderstorm that could be coming. Here in Valpo currently, the wind has picked up significantly. We want to just make sure anybody here on campus or right outside of campus, best to get home as soon as you can, get inside. That will work best for you guys, okay? We just want to keep you all safe. I will give you back to Zoe, and we'll keep you updated.
Yeah, so I just want to talk really quickly about kind of why we're seeing this today. So as you can see here in Valpo, it was actually really kind of nice today. Not as nice as it was yesterday. It wasn't like 70, but we were pushing 70 here. This is the high temperature. This was observed fairly early on today, probably around 10 or 11-ish. And then we didn't get as warm up there near O'Hare, but that was kind of expected. But that is because there was a stationary front in effect. And then early this afternoon, a warm front pushed through, and it caused this pocket of warm, moist air to push up into our area, which kind of sparked severe weather. But currently here in Valpo, the temperature is about 63, so that cold front hasn't quite yet passed through. Our colors have also not updated, so it is not really as warm in Lansing and Joliet as the colors make it seem. It is much cooler as the storm has already passed through, so the temperatures have really started to cool down, and they will continue to drop through tonight, only reaching probably about freezing by tomorrow morning, which is the reason why we're going to have that snow I mentioned earlier. Wind gusts, it's pretty windy out there. I mean, wind gusts of 17 here in Valpo, but that is just regular wind gusts. That is not taking into account the fact that there are severe gusts, which are gusts that are over 50 miles an hour. So those, like Carly said, are very dangerous. So make sure you have any sort of small objects that you have secured down, because those can make really easy projectiles if they're caught up, and they can cause damage if they're thrown into something. And then our dew point, it is very, very sticky here in Valpo. It's a 51-degree dew point, which means it is very, very hot and very, very sticky. But as that line passes through, we really start to dry out with our dew point, and we're down into the mid-30s over there in Rockford. But we are not the only ones experiencing impacts of severe weather from this system. There's also some impacts down south, like Champaign got some action earlier today. Peoria had a couple spin-ups earlier, along with anywhere kind of in between. So places like Morris, Coal City, Kankakee, etc. Kankakee was actually under a tornado warning not too long ago. But as this all passes through and pushes through, thankfully we are seeing the storms slowly but surely start to diminish as we get closer to sunset. So we're hopefully going to be seeing these storms starting to die out as they keep on moving. We're going to move a little closer to our area so we have a little bit more accuracy. That heaviest band of rain seems to just be about approaching kind of where, it's just past 130. It's kind of moving parallel to 30. It's about to reach 49. So here in Valpo, we are just about to, or just are currently under the heaviest of that rain. And then heavy rain should be near Wanata by about 6:25. So you have about 15 minutes left to get there, and then it should be near LaPorte about 6:30. So you should be hearing and feeling those heavy gusts, some rumbles of thunder, quite a few rumbles of thunder, some hail potentially, but mainly our current main threat is those heavy gusts as that continues to move off to our region. And then, like I said before, we are currently under the slight risk, which is level 2 out of 5, so not the worst risk in the world, but we still should be weather aware as the storm continues to move through our area. Carly, do you have anything update-wise about any storm reports or new warnings?
Nothing really news going out yet. The severe thunderstorm warning has extended into Tippecanoe, Indiana. That is the newest update. And then again, the National Weather Service is making sure through their instructions and our instructions, for your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. This is not just for when you are in a tornado warning. Sometimes the winds are strong enough to cause damage just like the tornado would. So getting everybody to a safe place is just always a good option. So we are going to keep updated here, but it looks like the tornado warnings are expiring, and they haven't seemed to announce any new ones. The severe thunderstorm warning is extending out, and again is extended until 8 p.m. Eastern. And again, we are working with 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts in the areas of Boone, Carroll, Clinton, Hendricks, Montgomery, Putnam, and Tippecanoe, Indiana. You are all under a severe thunderstorm warning, so please get inside. Make sure everything is taken care of. If in some scenario you do notice a funnel cloud or any weird cloud formation that is starting to form, please alert others in your area to get inside. There are storm chasers out there who are watching and looking, and we are watching the radar constantly to help keep you guys safe as well. The National Weather Service is doing their best to keep us updated and keep those warnings and watches being extended or or ending as soon as they possibly can, okay? So nothing really new here, Zoe. Just for those people here in Valpo specifically, our other staff helped us let us know that outside it really just got dark really fast and the wind picked up more than it did before. So we got to watch around here because obviously Zoe has been showing us it's moving, the worst is moving into our area now. So yeah, it's getting windy out there. So if you're trying to open a door or close a door, especially those car doors, a lot of times when it's windy like that, they will just, the wind catches them and they will fly out. So we here at the studio have had that problem as well as the doors, the wind gets behind the door and that can be dangerous, especially if somebody is on the outside of the door or inside the door, however it opens. So please be careful when entering and exiting a building or your car, because it is damaging and could be harmful to you or somebody else. So look outside if you want to see what's going on, but please make sure you're staying inside and being safe. Again, it did get dark here, so those clouds are moving in from that severe thunderstorm that we're watching. Unsure about, we are in a 5% chance of tornadoes, but that does not mean that we will get a tornado. It just means that there's a chance that we will. So, but just stay inside because a severe thunderstorm is just as important as a tornado warning is, okay? So we will keep updating you guys slowly on the alerts. They haven't posted anything in a couple minutes. We're just still in the same areas. So I'll give it back to you, Zoe, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of show a quick little radar route of kind of seeing that storm pass through our area in particular. So you can kind of see that first little round of rain that we saw earlier this afternoon kind of making its way out of here. And you can also see how fast this storm kind of made its way, roared its way across the Chicago area and now into our main area here in Valpo. So you can see it kind of started to like make its appearance about 5:30, and not even an hour later, it is right on our doorstep. So these storms are moving fast, which is good, but also bad. It's good because it'll be out of our area soon enough, but it's also not great because this means that there is a lot of high winds and a lot of potential for, like Carly said, there to be these potential spin-up tornadoes. So like you said, we're under a 5% risk for any tornadoes, and that is a tornado to appear within 50 miles of your given point. So there might not be a tornado here in Valpo, but there could be one near any point that is about 50 miles from here. So somewhere like maybe Westchester, Winfield, or maybe Gary. Obviously not Gary because Gary's past the main line of the storms. But the good news is through these radar returns, we are seeing that the storm is at least weakening, which is a relief because they were very strong going through places out to our west. I have seen multiple storm reports about funnel clouds, very strong winds, small hail, it getting dark very fast, like Carly said here, but these storms are thankfully moving off to our east fairly quickly, so we don't have to worry about that as for much longer. But we do have to worry about some snow, so I'm going to talk about that super quickly. So everything should be out of here by early evening. However, in the middle of the night, we'll see that cold front really start to dip on through, and along with it, we'll bring some snow. Now, so don't be surprised, like I said earlier, if there's a little bit of snow on the ground or on your car when you get up tomorrow morning. But the snow is not going to stick around for much longer, and it should be out of here by early afternoon. And with the sun out, that snow should have a chance to melt. But temperature-wise, we are going to see this temperature start to dip as that cold front passes through. So here about 11 o'clock, we'll be at 42 here in Valpo, just above freezing out there in DeKalb, and then those temps are going to continue to drop into tomorrow morning, where we will be just at freezing here in Valpo. Some places will be a little bit above, a little bit below, but we won't really move much from here tomorrow, which is kind of good because we kind of need that break from all the crazy weather. But that means we're also going to be slightly colder than we usually are this time of year. But we will see those temps start to really rebound into Friday. So here's Friday morning, we're in the mid-30s all around, but we're going to see the temperatures kind of continue to shoot up through the rest of Friday, which is great news, but it will be windy. Hour by hour forecast, we've got those temperatures, like I said, starting to dip. we are not going to really be holding on to this for much longer here in Valpo. The areas out to our east, you still have to really be weather aware through the next few hours until everything kind of fully pushes its way out. We'll be quiet for a couple hours, and then we're going to see some rain turn over to snow. And then our 7-day forecast, we've got that cooler day tomorrow, and then we'll be a little warmer near 60 on Friday with some winds, and then by Saturday and Sunday we should be at some more seasonable temps. All right, we're gonna pass it over to Carly. Do you have any new storm reports or warnings that have come across your screen in the last couple of minutes?
No, but I have been updated that it is downpouring here in Valpo currently. So, and we got some thunder going on outside. So again, be safe. I know as a lover of weather myself, we all want to go outside and see the storm. We all want to rush to the window. Just make sure you're being careful. Just do what you can to be careful and keep the ones around you safe as well. So they are expecting to put out a special weather statement for parts of Indiana and Kentucky. So just watch for those. It looks like, though, the hazards are slowing down to wind gusts of 50 miles per hour and pea-size hail. So we are expecting these to slow down. Like Zoe was saying, the storm is starting to dissipate slowly, which is a good thing. But there's always that chance that it could just get a little bit of lift or warmth and start right back up again. So we just need to be careful of that. So even still with 50 mile per hour winds, since the storm is now moving at 60 miles per hour. So, but if we still have winds of 50, this is still possible of tree limbs or blown, or objects that are not secured to be blown away, and it says minor hail damage to vegetation is possible. So it looks like this storm is going to mostly remain over rural areas of northwestern Du Bois, but that does not mean that those areas are not going to be impacted just as much as a city or an urban area would. So for those also in the rural areas, we want you to be safe as well, okay? So make sure to get inside and take precautions. So it looks like the severe thunderstorm warning has been extended to Du Bois, Indiana. Du Bois. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, so it looks like it's slowing down. We haven't had any tornado warning updates. Looks like the tornado watches will expire later in the evening. So again, like 9 p.m., the tornado watch for Benton and Newton will expire, which is later. That is a couple hours away. We realize that, but as the storm moves away, it is going to be less of a chance that you are going to be impacted. But the watch is there for a precaution. It's there to make sure that you are safe, because sometimes little storms do pop up around a large line that we're looking at. So it is possible that something small could still pop up. Until the storm is completely out of your area, there's always a chance of severe storms, tornadoes, hail, wind, all of that. There's always a chance. So just make sure that we're being careful. It looks like as the storm is moving, they're looking to soon put out tornado, sorry about that, severe thunderstorm watches into the area of LaPorte, Miami, Wells, Elkhart, into that area. They're going to soon, most likely soon, release a thunderstorm watch, severe thunderstorm watch. So we will hopefully see that soon. But other than that, it's mostly just severe thunderstorm warnings that are being updated. They're either being extended or shortened depending on where you live. You can go on, if you'd like to see this, the National Weather Service website, and if you go to choose your location, and if you go to your state that you are in, you can hit the updated, you can go to click the map if you want to look at your specific county. Otherwise, you can do it by state, and it's underneath the big map that you'll see on their website, okay? And then if you put your state in and hit the go button, that'll bring you to a list of the warnings and watches that are either put out and being put out. And so this can help keep you updated as well, okay? And you can look at the details of when they are issued to when they're going to expire. So again, on there also, it gives you some some different tips and tricks as well, ones that I have also been stating to keep you safe and keep you updated. The best way to keep yourself safe is to be updated and know what's occurring and know what to do in a situation that could be harmful, okay? So again, for people here in Valpo, we've been updated that it is raining, there's thunder and lightning, and very strong winds, okay? So people walking around campus, call the shuttle to keep yourself safe. Easiest way, stay inside. Once the shuttle gets in there, hop on and get safely to your home, okay? People are here to help you so that you don't have to be outside and alone or scared in this situation, okay? Make sure to use your resources, and we're here to help. Zoe?
Okay, so the good news is this part of the system that we are being impacted by currently is two things. It is weakening, which is great. We could see a lot more orange and yellow than we did before. We saw a lot of reds, dark reds, and even a couple pink and purple spots. So the fact that we're not seeing that is a great sign. It means that these storms, for the time being at least, are weakening. The other good news is that Valpo is currently almost out of this heaviest band of rain. Actually, the radar loop just updated. We are actually almost completely out of the heaviest band of rain that is now near areas like New Durham and just south of Route 6. But we're going to really quickly kind of time this out for areas a little bit farther to our east. So areas like Olive, South Bend, you will be getting some rain. These storms should be hitting into your area in the next 15 to 20 minutes. So start getting ready. Make sure you know where. If you have a weather radio, where that is, make sure that's on. Make sure you have alerts on your phone ready to go in case any sort of severe thunderstorm warnings come through, tornado warnings, etc. Make sure you have that ready to go. Also, you kind of know your plan, where you're going to go in case of a severe thunderstorm warning or even a tornado warning. Lowest level interior level interior room of your building. Things like that. Make sure if you are under tornado warning, make sure you have things like a bike helmet and some sturdy shoes, just in case something happens and they need to get you out of there. But thankfully, we are not seeing that with these storms. These storms are weakening, so just kind of make sure you are weather aware, like we have been saying. And then the storms will continue pushing out east, so by about 8:10 in Concord and 8:25 in Warsaw Eastern Time, we should be seeing these storms into your neck of the woods. So just keep yourself weather aware through the next little bit. These storms, thankfully, are, like I said, moving fairly quickly through these areas. Carly, is Valpo currently still under a tornado warning?
Yeah,
so severe thunderstorm warning, or is that been allowed to expire?
Yeah, no, Valpo, the severe thunderstorm warning has concluded. The university has just sent out an email. The severe thunderstorm warning has concluded for Valparaiso, that we are out of the warning. That does not mean that like our watches have ended, but the warning has expired. So with that being said, that does not mean that all of these hazards are gone. We still have winds, possible hail, and storms, some strong winds that can come through, especially as we saw that Zoe was showing us before, is that snow that's going to come in. That is definitely another hazard itself, is the roads are wet now from the rain, and as it starts to freeze, that is going to cause some issues with roads, driving, just the safety overall. So even though the severe thunderstorm warning has concluded, there are still other factors that are dangerous in our area. So be careful if you need to go out, or in the morning, especially if even a little brisk snow on your car can still mean the roads are slippery or wet, okay? Snow is not the only thing that is impactful when driving. Rain is often slippery on the roads as well. So as we see that the storm is concluding, they are bringing through less warnings, and they're starting to expire. So it is weakening and moving over. So we're looking more into the middle to the eastern side of the state. So those here, and to our friends and family who are watching from the Illinois side, hopefully everybody should be out of what was a fear. There's definitely some rain behind the storm that is still going to be impacting your area until that snow moves in. And so that doesn't mean, again, everything is over. Just be careful, stay inside with your family, but you are safe and you are okay, since you're especially going to be out of those tornado warnings, and those watches will soon to be expired. So we will keep you updated, but for the university itself, the email from VUPD has gone out. Again, reminder that the severe thunderstorm warning has expired for our area. So we never actually got into a tornado warning, which is very good. We are safe here, but let's make sure to remember about those people who were impacted. Just because you were lucky to not, that doesn't mean that other people aren't hurting from the storm. So it's nice to be compassionate and know that just because we were lucky enough that the storm dissipated and we were safe doesn't mean that others aren't hurting or have lost items or got impacted during the storm, especially earlier in the day. So to keep you guys all informed, we'll keep updating you and keep going live as the storm moves into the east of the state. So we'll get you back to Zoe for a little bit.
Yeah. Since Valpo is kind of out of the real warning zone here, we're going to start to wrap things up here. I just want to really quickly kind of bring note to this. Our temperature, even since we've been live, has dropped quite a bit. It is currently only about 51 degrees here in Valpo. I believe when we started, it was around 60, 61. Actually, it just dropped again, 50 degrees. So it's about 10 degrees warmer and cooler than it was before. And even you can even see that in places like Plymouth or South Bend, places that haven't had that line of storms come through, they're still a lot warmer than we are. But as that line will pass through, then the temperatures will start to cool down. And then really quickly, I wanted to take a quick look at our 7-day one more time. Like I said before, I'm going to be on tomorrow to talk some more about the windiness and the warm-up for Friday, and then what it's looking like for the weekend. So on my weather update, I will talk more about that. But overall, we are looking like once we get past this, still be weather aware through tonight, especially with that incoming line of snow and that temperature drop. So make sure we're not completely out of the woods when it comes to inclement weather, but not too long until we are completely clear of it by tomorrow afternoon. But then heading into the weekend, we've got that little bit of breeziness and then more spring-like temperatures heading into the weekend with a chance of some rain as well. And then we'll see the sun come back out for some more seasonable-like days for the first half of the work week. Carly, you got any last thoughts?
Let's see. So again, as we're moving through, we look into later this week. It's definitely going to get much better than it was today. So thank you, Zoe. I'm excited for that. Again, the severe thunderstorm warning now has extended out to Martin, Indiana. So I just want to make sure that everybody is staying safe and updated. Again, there are many resources other than just us that you can watch to keep yourself safe. A lot of your local news will be reporting on the storm as well. Keep them on the TV to get some constant updated information, as well as the National Weather Service is always posting and updating their warnings and watches. That is an easy way for you at home to get access to the most updated and best information as fast as possible. Yeah, if you have a weather radio, turn it on. That is also another way to get fast, reliable information. So watch the weather, take everybody downstairs, watch a movie or two, and just stay safe and take care of the ones around you in a time like this. So anything else, Zoe?
Not that I can necessarily think of, just kind of staying weather safe through the rest of the evening and into early tomorrow morning, and then everything looks to be improving once we get past Thursday. Weather-wise, should be a pretty nice couple of days.
Perfect. Well, we thank you from VUTV for joining us this evening. We will be back with other shows later this week and next week. So we hope that you guys join us again. And if any other severe weather were to occur, we will be back live. So make sure to watch us and follow our social medias to stay updated. I am Carly Bodinas and Zoe Barrages, and we thank you for watching and joining us live tonight.